Alright, the Genshin 2.6 preview with the banner has been announced on the Genshin Impact Twitter. It's kind of early, usually they do this on the weekend, so I'm surprised they announced it on a random Tuesday, maybe because of the situation in Shanghai right now, which is where MiHoYo headquarters is. Regardless, it's back again for another React ending. And as always, don't forget to subscribe to the YouTube channel, and let's get started. Starting off, we have the Ayaka banner, which is gonna be Ayaka, who is the features 5-star characters. We already uploaded a video about if you should pull for Ayaka or not. The too long didn't read this. Yes, Ayaka is really powerful and you probably should pull if you're looking for a meta crowd unit that's not Ganyu. So check that video out. So let's talk about the 4 stars. We have Sayu, Razors, and Rosaria. Starting off with the only one that is usable here is gonna be Rosaria. Rosaria is a really powerful 4 stars. I would think Rosaria is somewhere in the really high end of the 4-star spectrum, especially with her being Cryo and Crowd team are just kind of cracked. Pulling a Rosaria here is really good because you can just do Ayaka and Rosaria pairing, and then with either Kokomi as your Hydro healers. But in general, Rosaria is really base. There's also the reverse melt team available of Rosaria, which is used Bennett, Xiangling, Rosaria, and Kaya, for example, which is also a really powerful 4 stars only team. Aside from that, Rosaria had a couple other use, for example, in Eula team as a battery, but also a physical shredder with her C6 and stuff. Rosaria is just one of the more stronger character in the game, not just 4 stars, but overall in the game, and probably better than some of the 5-star in the game. So really good character to throw for. Razors, not really a meta unit. Razors is like, nobody really play him. He's a physical unit that's kind of meme nowadays. I think Razor, I'm not to offend Razor main, but Razor is not really meta at all. You only play it because you want to. Like, for example, Azo play self-overloading Razor for meme, not because of the meta. But yeah, Razor is like a forgotten unit. He pretty much will never really be good because of the way he works, because he just do physical damage and he doesn't really offer anything to the rest of the team. So unfortunately, this character kind of doomed. And then we have Sayu. A lot of people hate Sayu, and I have no idea why, to be honest. At the end of the day, Sayu is just a budget Gene. And if you don't have Gene and you look for a Nemo healer, to be honest, Sayu can do the job just fine. I don't really understand why people don't like Sayu. I guess people have Gene question mark, but if you don't, then Sayu is there for you. Otherwise, she's really good S tier in exploration to roll around. She spin around really fast, really good for exploration, really good for doing those dumb events in the overworld. But don't play Genshin Impact for the overworld anyway. Genshin Impact is Abyss only. But yeah, Sayu is just a budget Gene. There's nothing really anything special about that. If you have Gene is just always gonna be the go-to. If you don't have Gene and you want a Nemo healer, use Sayu, I guess. Overall, this banner, it's kind of whatever. I think it's pretty standard that you have like a good 5-star characters, in this case Ayaka, one good 4-star character, Rosaria, and then you have like 2 filler whatever characters. I think we've seen this pattern a lot from the past banner anyway, so. Onto the weapon banner. Alright, this time we have Mistsplitter and then Unforged. Actual dice of cringe. Let's talk about the 5-star weapon, starting off with Mistsplitter. Mistsplitter is actually the best weapon in the game in terms of the 5-star category. It's better than Salvahoma or pretty much anything else. It's regarded to be the best limited 5-star weapon. Pretty much many of the characters that use the sword can use it. Ayaka, obviously, with her being its signature weapon, but also other characters like Xingqiu's can use it really well and just doing a bunch of massive damage. The problem here is that Mistsplitter, while it's the best weapon in the game, unfortunately is one of the most died of cringe weapon in the game, aka the worst weapon in the game. I'm sorry for YouTube Frog listening to our Twitch vocabulary. Unforged is not as bad as it seems, so to be honest, it does give you a good amount of attack if you have a shield, and you can actually use it on Claymore character that uses the shield for a good amount of attack, like Eula, for example. But overall, Unforged is a pretty bad weapon. It's not as unusable as a lot of people think. So there is credit there, but it's just not good enough to justify pulling on this banner, especially because the current weapon banner in the game also have a decently good sword, the Horan, with a critical rate passive on it instead. But alongside the Horan is the Elegy, which is a really good weapon to pull for. So when you compare this banner to the Horan banner, I would just rather pull on the Horan banner because I don't want to risk getting a dice of cringe Unforged. And Elegy, it's a really good weapon. Even if you don't have Venti, you can use it on Ember with your Hu Tao. You can use it on Venti whenever you do decide to get one, as he's one of the higher value character in the game. And maybe potentially you can use it in the future on Yelan. We don't know what Yelan does. Okay, we do, because I released this video after I talked about the Yelan. Okay, but let's pretend we don't know what Yelan does, okay? Don't tell them. Okay, just don't tell MiHoYo. Shh. MiHoYo, I don't know what Yelan does. I only know she used a bow because I did the story. Even though I didn't do the story, Don't look at my chasm exploration rate. I don't know what, I mean, I saw Yena in the story. I know she uses the bow. That's what the video told me. But elegy could potentially be usable on her, right? So at least that's another maybe use case in the future. So I would much prefer the Haran elegy banner. I think the main concern people have is that the Haran passive is not really useful for like Ayaka, plus it's a critical rate sword, so it's naturally less good on Blizzard Slayer, but it doesn't have that much critical rate, so you don't overcap too often. 33-ish plus 40 is like 70, so and then plus 15 it's like you're close to cap, but you're not necessarily overcap. And it's still a decently good stat stick, obviously not as close to mistsplitter, but I would rather not risk getting Unforged. So in the 4-star, however, we have the 5 series weapon. We have 5 bow, 5 sword, 5 book, 5 lance, and then we have the bell. Huh? Wait, does miHoYo know? miHoYo knows there's a 5 gray sword, right? Hello? Helloing? Why do you put 4-5 on the banner and then to the bell? Where's the logic? Where's the logic? But anyway, the bell is a dice of cringe weapon. The bell is one of the most useless weapons in the game, but it's also not as useless as people. Okay, it's actually pretty useless. I can't lie about that. Although I have to be honest, the bell is a little bit useful if we ever get an HP scaling Claymore character in the future, and it is the only weapon with HP scaling on it. So there might be potential use in the future, but for now it's one of the most useless weapons in the game. But Faf, on the other hand, the Phonius weapon series are the best weapon series in the game, next to the mistsplitter theory, whatever this is called. I think Phonius series is the absolute best in the game. Phonius weapon is always really appreciated, even multiple high refined weapon, for example. Phonius weapon, we talked about this over on the many different KCON podcasts in the past about why they are absolutely broken, and you should pretty much have them on every single one of your support. To be honest, nowadays I think if you don't know what to put on your support, Fab it is. Just put Fab. Kazuha, nah, don't put Freedom Sword on Kazuha. Put Fab. In fact, I actually think I have a Fab on my Kazuha right now for that exact same reason. It does way too good in terms of battering your entire team. So right now I'm playing like Ember, Xingqiu's, Hu Tao's, Kazuha, and the Fab weapon just give energy to my Xingqiu's to make sure that he always have burst, give energy to my Ember to make sure he always have burst, and then Hu Tao is like, okay, but whatever. Fab weapon is just the most overpowered weapon series in the entire game, so it's really nice to have high refinement of. Each one of these is really good. Maybe not necessarily the Fab codex, because no Kalos user really care outside from DDDS, but it's nice to have just in case for the futures. The reason why I said it's good to have multiple high refinement right now is because there are definitely scenarios where you want multiple of them at high refinement, as Phonius weapons scale extremely well with refinement. A R5 weapon is dramatically better than an R1 because not only these are 100% chance to proc, the cooldown also get lowered from 12 seconds to a 6 second. So the performance between the Refine 5 Phonius is dramatically better than the Refine 1 Phonius. Because it is so good that it's gonna be a scenario where you want multiple of those. In fact, right now, I actually don't have enough Phonius sword. For example, my Bennett is holding an R1 Fab sword when I really appreciate this to be an R5. And I think I have 2 R5 lands, but there are many cases where you want multiple R5 lands. For example, you might put one on Rosaria like I have right now, and then put another one on Zhongli on your other side with whatever party. In that case, you would want multiple Refine 5 Phonius weapon series. It is just way too good. So I would say like you can definitely appreciate every single copy of it unless you have like free R5. In that case, you probably have enough. But yeah, Phonius weapon, really good. Overall though, I would say like this weapon banner is not good at all because of the Unforged, but the 4-star Phonius weapon is pretty decent except for the fact that why is there a die of cringe bell right here? It just doesn't make sense. So hey, miHoYo, please fix this. And I think that's pretty much it. Oh, by the way, they canceled this event. For people who doesn't know, there's a Spice from the West event that's supposed to come in the next patch, but it is now postponed / canceled. It doesn't exist anymore because of the COVID in Shanghai, and they kind of work in the office. We don't really care about event anyway. All we care is banner. So with that being said, as always, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see y'all next time.